Today, we're going to be talking about how small micro changes in yourself change how you view your relationship, and the goals you put on your relationship can make up for a huge impact if you arrive at the relationship of your dreams or not. And stay tuned to the end because we're going to go through two of the best habits you can have and start today to achieve your ultimate desired goals. Stay tuned. I'm Christopher Gill, and I've spent time thinking about relationships, studying them. I want to be your best friend, your brother, your daddy, and I hope that we can continue growing and talking about anything. Let's dive in. I was recently reading a book called Atomic Habits, and this book brought up a fact or a interesting insight into how we build good habits and how we achieve success that I had never really heard before put in this way, and I realized that there were some massive implications to relationships and how we look at relationships, so I thought it was worth discussing. The long and the short of it is, when someone is trying to achieve a goal, we, instead of focusing on the small changes we can make today that will result in a much bigger change later on, we look for those moments of huge cataclysmic shifts, right? We want the continents to divide. We want the relationship of our dreams to manifest in front of us, but we discount and we downplay the process of getting there and the small things you can be doing every day to achieve these goals that we all have. So what's the better way of thinking about it? If it's not this goal orientation, what is it that we want to be developing? And well, if you may have guessed from the name of the book, it's habits, and it's very small habits, and that's building a system and the gears and the framework for how your brain works and how you're viewing yourself and your partner or your potential partner in day-to-day small interactions. So you're really looking for those 1% improvements or those 0.5% improvements that for a very long time are gonna feel totally minute, and they are minute, but you have to realize the compounding effect, right? Everyone knows about compounding interest, that you reach this tipping point, and after you've been saving, now the interest is compounding and the savings are going on top of the savings, and the rate of increase can be huge, and you can go from $1 million to $3 million in like 4 years. It's crazy. And I think the same is really true in relationships. Instead of focusing on, I got to be this person, I have to achieve this result, I have to have this relationship, you need to think through, what process are you building to achieve that ultimate goal and conclusion? And he also brings up in the book how many times we may be doing the small good habits, but then we begin to downplay them or we begin to assign less value to them because, again, we're not seeing the result immediately. It's tiny, it's small, it feels insignificant, it may even feel easy. And instead of being excited that you are putting in the work, that the journey is moving forward, that you're getting closer to the person you want to be, that you are getting to be the person that you would want to attract, that you're putting yourself in a better relationship with yourself, that you're working to love yourself, and you're taking these small steps that absolutely 100% will have a profound impact on who you attract into your life, the kind of partnership you have, the kind of relationship you build, that we put them aside. So we're doing them for a little while, and then you get 10, 15, 20, 30 days into it. And if you're making a 0.5 to 1% change, that's only going to be a 15 to 30% change. It's not going to be catastrophic. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be life-changing. But you realize that, hey, you are building equity in the good change bank day after day as you put in the work and you put in the time and you develop these good habits. So how does this apply in relationships? I think many times we're living in opposition to who we want or to the relationship that we actually want to manifest or attract or build in our life. Are we really forming the daily habits of taking care of ourselves in all the main pillars of life, of being physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally successful and strong? All of those things are huge lifetime goals that we'll be working on for our entire lives. And depending on where you are in that journey, you may have a lot of work to go, and it may seem very difficult to put in the work. I think many times we discount the fact that we really attract who we are and that the world is a mirror to where we are in our lives. So if there's an issue, if you are attracting something into your life, if you're attracting partners that don't care about you, if you're attracting partners that violate your boundaries, and I'll put the link to the video all about boundaries right up here. If you are attracting negative traits into your life, you need to think through what of those things are you reflecting back out into the world. If you are bringing people into your life that really don't seem to love you, I would spend time thinking through how much you love yourself. And shifting and going from a place of lack of self-love to total unbridled, I love myself mentality isn't going to happen overnight. But are you taking the time to spend time with yourself? Are you getting clear on what you want? Are you creating mental peace in your life? Are you following practices of self-love for yourself? And many of those things are very, very small. They may seem insignificant. They are minute changes, but they will add up to a ton long-term in your relationship. Take a moment, write in the comments, Christopher, I will focus on the small positive daily habits and not the ultimate goal. I also think about that when we have this picture of success in a relationship, right? We have this vision that we create in our minds, which is a very important thing, but we become so fixated on that successful goal that anything that falls short of that is not going to be acceptable, right? So if the person that you're maybe going out with doesn't have this, and this, but maybe they're on the journey with you, right? Maybe they are trying to improve themselves and you can serve as a very positive catalyst in their life, but you discount that because they are not this ultimate successful conclusion that you want to get. Instead of focusing on building the processes to create that, you discount and maybe throw away that relationship because it's not the ultimate successful goal. So of course you need to have positive self practices, but then what is the positive relational machine that you are building with your partner? Are you setting good practices together? Are you coming together and dealing with conflict? Are you being honest and open? Are you listening to what your partner needs? And are you being willing to ask your partner for what you need in return? Are you spending time that's really quality, positive time together? Are you building experiences together? So instead of focusing on this ultimate relationship goal that you want to achieve, which is phenomenal, and I think putting time into crafting that is important, but then instead of being success and goal driven, be machine and process and positive process driven. And I think this gives you a much more attainable view of success, right? So if your success is only predicated and built off this one positive conclusion, the brain does two very negative things. One, you achieve that, and then what do? Oh, I didn't set the right goal. This obviously wasn't as tough to achieve as I thought, so I got to set another bigger, even more difficult to obtain goal. Or you fall short of that goal and you feel like a total failure instead of giving yourself the reinforcement, the positive reinforcement that you're taking steps every day to achieve that. For my own life, for my own relationships, in my view of myself, I want to stop focusing so much on this end goal and start focusing on the process that I'm putting in place that is moving me centimeter by centimeter, inch by inch toward that goal. And I think I will be able to look back daily and say, no, I'm not here, but I got an inch closer, right? No, this isn't my relationship right now, but we're both working on it. No, we didn't respond perfectly every time, but we did respond perfectly this time. And those positive habits, those small positive habits will build on themselves over time and result in a much more powerful relationship. So again, focus on the positive habits for you of taking time for yourself, of learning to love yourself, of taking care of your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being, and then begin developing those same habits in your relationship. You will have so much more happiness, peace, and find the micro successes along the way than always focusing on the ultimate conclusion.